Hello guys, today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to use the FMS or the flight management system. Also, you can call it the FMC or the flight management computer. Okay, uh, this is a very complicated part of the flight, and it's really complicated. But in this simulator, in this video, it's really not. Okay, it's really simple, and once you get it, you'll see how it works, and you'll see how you can make your own flight plan. Okay. So here you see that we're on the 737, and we're at Honolulu Airport. Okay, so right now we're on runway 08 left. Okay, so that's some information I wanted to give you, so that you know where I'm at and what I'm gonna be doing. Okay, so here is the FMS. Now I haven't done anything to this airplane. I just started already on the runway, and all I had to do was just change the lights and adjust some of the systems up there, and yeah, everything else is pretty much the same. Okay, so when you start it should kind of look like this, except for the lights and stuff. Okay, so what you're gonna do now is go to the FMS, and this is the flight management system. Okay, or what we use to put in our flight plan, and which is gonna tell the airplane where we want to go. Okay, here is the first page where it should be at. Okay, which is the index page. uh, there you'll see different options. The first one is status, route menu, database, and arrival data. Okay, and at the very bottom you see a warning saying that nav data is out of date. You don't have to worry about this because we're flying on a simulator that has a limited map. It has boundaries, so you don't have to worry about none of this. Even on any other simulator, you don't even have to worry about that. Okay, unless in you're flying in real life. Okay, but yeah. Uh, so at the bottom where it says nav data out of date, that's your scratch pad. Okay, and that's where everything you enter is gonna show there. Okay, but then from there, on the bottoms to the on the buttons to the side, that's where you're gonna paste the things. Okay, so uh, what we're gonna do now is clear the message or the warning that they gave us by pressing clear, which is right here. Okay, now you see the message went away. Now what we're gonna do now is go to status. Okay, right here, and then you're gonna see some information. uh, you're gonna see that the database or the navigation data is from 13th of October 2016 to 10th of November 2016. That's the dates that are valid. Okay, but in this case we are in 2019. It's far from that date, so navigation is not up to date. But like I said, you do not have to worry about that. Okay, because anything has changed here. There hasn't been any updates to this flight simulator until Glomo comes out, which I'm very excited about. Okay, so now at the very bottom near the scratch pad, you see two uh, two options. One that says index, which is the previous page that we were at, and then you see database. And obviously we do not wanna go back. We wanna go to database. Okay, so you're gonna go database right here, and then in there you're gonna see a dash line, and there it's gonna ask you for your ident location. Okay, so that's gonna be your starting point, the airport that you're gonna be taking off from, or the location where you at. You know, so right there you have to put the ICAO code for that airport. In this case, we're at Honolulu Airport at Hawaii, and the ICAO code is PHNL. You do not know the ICAO for your airport, which I highly recommend to do this flight if you're just learning, so that you can see how it works and you can do it yourself and see that it works. Okay, I do not recommend going to another location or using another airplane unless you know what you're doing. Okay, but if you do not know the name of that location, you can go ahead to the map right here and then look for your airplane, and then you'll see the airport right there. Okay, so for by default, Xplane puts you on this specific airport on this specific runway for this uh, region, which is Hawaii. So you can press on the airport if I can. There you go. So then on the very top on blue letters you will see that it says PHNL. That's the ICAO code, which is what you're going to enter into the FMS. Okay, so put that in. You're gonna put PHNL, and then right next to the line, next to that button, you're gonna press that, and then it should paste that there. Okay, and then as soon as you do that, it's gonna give you a lot of some information for that airport. Okay, so we paste it, and then now you see some information. Now you see the longest runway, which is 12,000 feet and 273 feet. Then you see the airport location, which is in the coordinates, and then you see the name of that airport, which is Honolulu International, and then you'll see the metric units. You can change from meters or feet. Okay, in this case, I'm using feet because I fly in the U.S. I'm not used to meters, so yeah. Also next to that, you'll see the airport elevation, which is 13 feet. Okay, so then you can confirm that the airport that you put in is the correct one that's showing right there. Okay, so after you're done with that, checking that, you're gonna go ahead and plan your route. Okay, now you might be asking, okay, what do I need to plan your route? Okay, and it's very simple actually. Well, it is right now that Globo is not out, because we have a very small maps, so you can kind of say, okay, I want to go from here to over there, and then you need to connect the dots. That's basically what we do. You just basically connect dots and use points to navigate or fly to, and then all we have to do is connect them so we can get to the airport that we want. Okay, but obviously once Glomo comes out, if you're watching this when Glomo is already out or before that, there's a free website where you can go, and it gives you your waypoints and your departures and arrivals, which is um, it's a website. So you go to simbrief.com. I'm gonna put it in the description. I also made a video on how to do it. I'm gonna put that in the description as well. You can go check that out. But for now, like I said, you're just learning. So now you can just go use this exact location, this exact same flight plan, so that you can try yourself and see how it works. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, once you see how we do it, you're gonna see that it's very simple. Okay, now you go to your map right here. You're gonna see different things. Okay, you're gonna see your airports, which are the blue runways, or you're gonna see the purple circles like that, the magenta circles like that, where it says MPS. Those are airports. Okay, then you also see the terrain, the water, and you see these big circles right here. Those are VORs. Okay, and I'm not gonna go into detail what they are, but it's just a way that they navigate, and you can basically fly to that point or away from that point, and yeah, that's how what we can use to navigate. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is fly straight to this CKH point, VOR, this in yellow right here. We're gonna fly straight to that. Okay, we're gonna take off and go like that, and then from there you see these blue lines that have numbers in there, and then you also see those little tiny white triangles with names. uh, those are very unique names. It's not always, but most of the time they're gonna be unique, and there's only one of them. So as soon as you put those things, so these things, basically the blue lines, are like roads. Okay, so basically that's where the airplane is gonna be flying if you connect them. Okay, so basically, and then those white triangles are like basically intersections, or like basically you can compare it to the street, like a street name or something. So basically we're gonna be flying from this point, CKH, right, this right here, and then we're gonna go right to this Palais point, the white triangle, and then from there we're gonna go right, okay, to Jule right here, where those two lines meet, and then we're gonna go up on this long line, and that's called a via, okay, or airway, that's what they call. Okay, and then you see this point fires right here, and then that's another line going up. So we're gonna go from there to fires, then all the way up to UPP, Then we're gonna make a left turn to where it says starts. Okay, that point is gonna be the very last point in our flight plan. From there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna activate an approach for the airport, which is this one right here, that we're gonna be landing at. And that what that's gonna do is automatically give us points that the airplane is gonna fly to take us straight to the runway. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We gotta copy all these points that I just mentioned. Okay, so to do that, you're gonna go to your route page. Okay, where you're gonna put in your route. So you're like, what that? Where's that at? Um, it's very simple. You'll see different ones that said have um, um, different letters right there. So you're gonna look for RTE. RTE is right here, and that's for a route. Okay. So then on top you see active flight plan, and then on the bottom you see like little boxes that you need to fill in, and then at the bottom of that you see dash lines which you also need to fill in. Um, so where it says origin, that's where you're gonna put in the airport that you're at again. Okay. Which is in this case PHNL. Okay, so that's your origin airport. Next to that, you have a destination airport. So our destination airport is Hana Airport, which is at all the way to the other end, and the ICAO code for that is PHHN. Okay, so we're gonna put that in PHHN. Now we have what we just did is basically so the airplane. Okay, we are right here. We wanna go to that airport. Okay, that's basically what we did. After that, you see something that says company route, which is call route. Okay. Uh, do not worry about that right now because that's completely something. That's something else. That's basically if you have a safe route or a flight, you can just put in the numbers or the name in there, and then it will automatically load the flight plan there. But since we're starting a new flight plan and we're just making a new one, obviously we do not have one. But I do have a video on how to do that, but I don't recommend that to watch that right now until you know this first, because then how are you supposed to know how to use the FMS? You understand? So we're just gonna skip that. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. After that, you'll see that it says flight number. Okay. You do not need that either. Okay. But just to keep a little bit more professional, we are gonna put flight number and the airline. Okay. In this case, is KLM, if that's how you say it. And then we're gonna put in the number, flight number. Okay, so I'm gonna put KLAM, and then we're gonna put 2718, and that could be anything. Okay, that's just something that I just made up. Obviously not the KLAM because that's the livery that we're using right now. I'll show you right now. And then from there you'll see that yellow light will show. Press on that. That's the execute button. That's what that's gonna do basically is you're gonna tell the computer that yes, I want this information that you just put in. I wanna confirm it. Okay, so you're gonna press execute, and now it says active flight plan again. Now at the very bottom of that you see two lines. Okay, one that says via and one that says to. Okay, you do not have to worry about the via because basically via is the lines that I show you, the blue lines, and we do not have to worry about that right now. Okay, because if you accidentally put something in there that is not supposed to, it might mess up your flight plan. So we're just gonna be flying direct through the points that we're putting in, and yeah, that's gonna make things easier. So the only things that we need to fill in is the two, okay, not the via. Okay, so in this case, like I said, we're gonna be flying straight to the CKH VOR, which is the first point that I said. Okay, so I'm gonna put CKH. Okay, and then you paste it, and it should be on purple. And then where it says via, then you're gonna see that it says direct. Okay, so then you're gonna go next page right here, and then it's gonna be the same thing. So then the next after that, the CKH, remember we had the little waypoint, which is Palais, or I don't know how you say it, however you wanna say it's a weird name like that. PALAY, and then you're gonna put it there. Make sure you spell it correctly, okay? Because you don't, it's not gonna it's gonna say that it's not in the database. Okay, so you need to make sure that you spell it correctly how it is there. Okay. After that, we're gonna take that ULE or the JULLE waypoint. Okay. So we're gonna put it. And then you put it right below it. Okay, never put it on top of that. Okay, and then just check. You can see what we're doing right here. You're gonna see. Okay, so basically we're right here. Okay, and then we're gonna fly straight to this point right here. Okay, and then from Palai to Jule, and then now we're gonna go all the way up. Okay, to this line, to where it says fires, because as you see, there is another line that meets there. Okay, and from that point we wanna say it's basically like a street. Okay, like an intersection. From there we're gonna go to that street or a via. They're actually called airways, but yeah. You go all the way up, and we're gonna get to that VOR, another VOR, which is UPP. Okay, so we're gonna put that in. Okay, so we're gonna go to fires. Okay, and then the VOR that we just saw is UPP, so we're gonna put that in there. Okay, and now the very last waypoint in our route, okay, that we're gonna put in is gonna be to the left right here, and then it's this one right here, SARTS. Okay, it's a really short flight. Okay, but and we should be flying not too high because it's a really short flight, so we do not have to fly too high. Okay, so we're gonna put SARTS right there, and then now they have all of your waypoints put in. Now you can go ahead and confirm that, or by pressing execute. Okay, and you're gonna see how on top of that it's gonna say from uh, modified flight plan to active flight plan. Okay, so as soon as you hit the execute key, now you see it says active flight plan. Okay, so now what you need to do is go ahead and put in your arrival. This is the basically the points that are gonna be taking you from where you are, from the last point, which is SARS, straight to the runway. Okay, so now you're gonna go to your departure and arrival spot page by pressing this key right here, and then you see two airports right there. Your starting airport, which is where you're taking off from, PHNL, and you see your arrival airport, which is PHHN or Hana Airport. Now on the sides you'll see that it says departure and arrival. Make sure, okay, that you do not press on the wrong key. Okay. In this case, we're not gonna be using a departure for this airport because I just wanna make things a little bit more um, easy. But we kinda do need the arrival because otherwise it would be harder to land. Okay, so we're gonna be where it says PHHN. I mean, next to that you're gonna see arrival. So that's where you're gonna click on right there, and then you're gonna see some information right there. Okay, you're gonna see stars. We don't have any stars because it's a really small airport. Okay, and it's a kind of small airport for this airplane, so yeah, but I'm not too worried about that right now. But yeah, we don't have any stars. You don't know what stars are. It's basically stands for um, standard terminal um, arrival, airport arrival. uh, Forget it. I forgot the name. Okay, but it's just basically like the landing. Okay, and then next to that you see runway 26, which is where we're gonna be landing at, the runway 26. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and select that. Okay, and then from there it's gonna ask you for more. It's gonna ask you for your transition. So basically it's asking you from what point are you coming from. Now remember the last waypoint we put in was SARTS. Okay, so that's the point that we're coming from. So obviously you wanna select on that so that the flight planning goes well. Okay, everything is correct. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put on SARTS. Okay, now that you're done with that, you're gonna go ahead and execute that, or confirm that again. Now you are going to go to your legs page, and what you want to do is check that you do not have any vectors or discontinuities, because that's bad. What that means is that you have something that's not correct in your flight plan, and it's basically like a gap, so you need to fix that. So we go to the next page, and here you can see all the waypoints that we put in. So then you go next page to check. Okay, everything looks good, and you can see that after SART, which is the last waypoint, you see more waypoints, and those are the waypoints that are um, selected by the approach. So when we put in the approach, that's what it gave us. Okay, so those are the points that were automatically selected for the approach, or that were already um, that are made for that approach. Okay, so then you go to the next page, and then you see all of these waypoints are for the approach. Okay, so you can see that everything is good. Also, you see a number next to the SART below that, and then you see where it says Haleu. I don't know how you say that. It says 3000A, and then 2500A, and then it goes on. It keeps getting lower. That's the altitude that you need to be. Okay, and now pay attention to this. Okay, so you see how it says 3000A. That means that at that point you're gonna be at 3000 feet or above. Okay, above is the A. If it has a 3000, just a solid 3000, no A, it means that you're gonna be at that point you're gonna be 3000 feet, not below, not above. Okay, use 3000 feet. If it has a B, that means it's gonna be 3000 feet or below. Now, since from the point that we're gonna be Swords to the airport is a really short distance, so I do not want to be higher than uh, 3000 feet, because I don't want to overshoot the runway. I don't want to be higher than uh, I don't want to be too high, okay, because then it's gonna be hard to land. So I want to be not above 3000 feet. I want to be exactly at 3000 feet. So how do you change that? Okay, so the way you're gonna change that, you want to, is basically just type in 3000, okay, like that, and then in the key below that, you're gonna hit it, and now you see that the A is gone. Now we're gonna be flying. At that point, we're gonna be flying at 3000 feet. Okay, so now you're done with that, you check that and everything is okay, you're gonna go to your uh, you're gonna tell the airplane your BNAV information. Okay, uh, so for that, you're gonna go to your climb page first, and that's gonna be in some buttons that's gonna say CLB for climb, which is this right here, and it's gonna ask you for some information. Okay, so on the very top, you see that says TGT speed, which is the target speed. Right there it says 290 knots, or 0.74 Mach. Okay, now that's too fast to go up, in my opinion. I do not like to go like a rocket. Okay, I do not like going up like it's a rocket ship or something. So I'm gonna select 250 knots for the climb. Okay, which is going up. Okay, so I'm gonna change that by putting 250, and then you see it changed. Now below that it says speed and altitude limit. That's a restriction. Okay, so basically what it's saying right there is basically that below 10,000 feet you cannot go above 250 knots. Okay, and then below that you see another lines, dash lines. Okay, you can make another restriction right there. I'm gonna see the airplane. Okay, I do not want you to fly above 220 knots if you're below 5,000 feet. Okay, so how do you put that in? You saw it is on the top. I'm gonna put 220 knots / 5,000 feet. Okay, and then you enter that. So now we're telling the airplane not to fly faster than 220 knots if the airplane is below 5,000 feet. Okay, so passing 5,000 feet, we can go to a speed between 220 to 250. Okay, and then next to that, you see something that says transition altitude. Okay, transition altitude live like that if you're flying in the US. Okay, because the transition altitude is basically at that, when you hit that altitude, what it's gonna do is basically they give you a barometric pressure, which right here. You see those letters right here, right there, that says STD. That's standard. Okay, that's what is that's what changes the pressure or the pressure in your altimeter to read the altitude correctly. Okay, so passing 18,000 feet, you will change that from your local pressure to your standard pressure. Okay, in this case we do not have to worry about that because the weather doesn't change. The altimeter is always the same, 29.992 inches of mercury, so you do not have to change that. Okay, so you can leave that like that. So then next you're gonna go to your cruise page, which is right here, cruise, and it's gonna ask you for two things. So what speed do you want to fly at your cruise? And right there it's already selected as 200 knots, and I'm going to leave it like that because that's okay for me. I do not want it to fly too fast or too slow. 300 knots, it's okay for me. Now it's gonna ask you for your cruise altitude. So at what altitude do you want to fly to? Okay. Now, like I said, it's a really short flight, so I do not want to fly too high. So I'm gonna be selecting altitude of 10,000 feet. Okay. So the way you enter it is you have three ways. You can put 1,000 feet. Okay. You can put flight level 100. So cutting off the two last numbers. Um, so you will put FL 100, or you can just put 100, 100, and that will automatically change into uh, thousands of feet. So I'm just gonna put 100, and you'll see how it changes to 10,000 feet. Okay, so now you see that I give it a warning. It's not at that altitude. It's not gonna be able to reach 3,000 feet uh, at the point that we just changed. So I'm gonna go back and change it to 3,000 feet or above. Okay, so go to next page. Next page. So there you see 3,000. I'm gonna put 3,000. Okay, clear the message. 3,000 and then A. Now we're gonna go to cruise altitude. Now we don't have any warning. Okay. Now once you're done with that, you're gonna go to your descent page. Okay. So on your descent page, it's gonna be pretty much the same thing as your climb page, but now all you have to tell the airplane is at what speed do you do want at what speed do you want to descend. And we're not talking vertical speed, we're talking knots. Okay. So in this case it's 290 knots. I do not like that. That's too fast. It's gonna descend too fast. I do not like that. Okay. So I'm gonna change it to 240. So 240 knots for descent. Okay, that's how fast it's gonna descend in knots. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much done. Um, Now what you have to do is just go to your legs page again, and you'll see that numbers are put in there, and also the speeds. But like at what speed you need to be at a certain point and what altitude. So you'll see. So there you see legs page, and then uh, in the very bottom you see 250 at 10,000 feet. So at July we should be already at 250 knots at 10,000 feet already. Okay. So we go right here, and you see that it says 10,000, 10,000, and then it starts descending with the little arrow pointing down. That means we're still gonna start descending. Okay. So everything here looks good. We do not have any discontinuities. We do not have anything that looks bad. Everything is completely good. Now I want to make sure I tell you this. Okay. I am not going to be flying with the BNAV for climb, okay? Because if I do, the airplane is gonna go like a rocket. It's gonna climb up so crazy, so fast. Okay, I do not like that. Okay, I don't think that's too realistic. Okay, so I'm going to be out manually controlling the autopilot for the climb, and once I hit 10,000 feet, I'm gonna go ahead and change the speed to 300 knots, which is the speed that we put in for the cruise. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Once I'm 10,000 feet and 300 knots, I'm gonna go ahead and put in the BNAV. Okay, then that's when I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. That way, it won't give us any problems. It's your choice. You wanna put it in as soon as you take off, or if you wanna do it like me. I prefer doing it like this because it's a lot more calm. It's a lot more It's just better. Okay, so as you can see, we are pretty much done with the flight plan. Now all we had to do is go ahead and program the autopilot. Okay, so yeah, let's go do that right now. So to program the autopilot, first you need to uh, turn on the flight director, and if you do not turn that on, it will not. The autopilot will not listen to you. It will not turn on. It will not activate. Okay. So then where it says I indicated airspeed or Mach, we're gonna put in the speed 220 knots. Okay, because that's why we wanna fly below 5,000 feet. Okay. From there, we're gonna go ahead and put the runway heading, because as soon as we take off, we wanna be flying the runway heading straight from the runway. Okay, and as you can see, we're on runway 08 left or 8 left, which is 080 degrees, and you can double check that right here in the heading. It says 080, so we're gonna go ahead and put that in 080, and then you could put heading select. Okay, then like I said, we're gonna be flying to 10,000 feet, so I'm gonna put 10,000 feet. It's a little sensitive, so just be patient with me. Okay, hold on, gotta zoom in a little. Okay, there you go. And then we're gonna go ahead and select vertical speed, and like I said, I don't want to climb up like a rocket, so I'm gonna go 2,500 feet per minute. There you go. And now pretty much the autopilot is ready. Now you can do all the extra things like putting the flight path vector. You can turn this on if you want. In this case, it's not really necessary. uh, and yeah, now we can go ahead and put the auto brakes to rejected takeoff or RTO, and we're gonna put the flaps to 5. You can make sure that the little needle is going to 5. Okay, and we're gonna set our trim to 5%. Okay, so now we are ready for takeoff. All I had to do is turn on the landing lights, runway turn off lights, and taxi light.